teaching the truth is not radical or wrong. That was the message today from the president of one of the largest teachers' unions in the United States, who are fighting back.
Senate Bill 377. This one aims to stifle some of the difficult conversations about race and racism in Georgia classrooms up through colleges.
Florida becomes the latest state to ban schools from teaching about systemic racism.
This is a deliberate plan to politicize and whitewash history.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Allow teachers to teach the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to the second annual Black History Now Awards, brought to you by Color of Change. The Black History Now Awards celebrate truth and reality in our education system. After all, it's our children who are under attack by the racist propaganda against our nation's storied history. As many learned in my groundbreaking Black in America documentary series, if you don't arm young people with a comprehensive education, you're doing them a grave disservice. How can you successfully progress forward if you remain ignorant of your past? When Black children see themselves reflected in classroom lessons and textbooks, learning becomes more meaningful, and their potential for academic success soars. So, we're going to spend the next hour celebrating and highlighting some of America's brightest and boldest change agents who are on the crusade to protect our country's history by defending our deepest truths. So now, please join me in welcoming Rashad Robinson, the president of Color of Change.
Thank you for the warm welcome, Soledad. It's great to have you joining us tonight, hosting our second annual Black History Now Awards. At Color of Change, we are working to build power for Black communities, to change the written and unwritten rules that stand in the way of progress. The institutions and individuals fighting to take our country backwards know that their job is much harder if we understand our history. Plainly and simply, Black history is American history, and it should be treated as such. But in order for that to be a reality, we must mobilize more people to action, hold those standing in the way of our progress accountable, and never mistake our cultural presence for cultural power. Congratulations to the award honorees tonight, and thank you in advance for joining them and us in the work ahead. Let's settle in for a great evening. A Black History Now award honoree from last year's inaugural ceremony, Khalil Greene has established himself as an inclusion expert and leading authority on leveraging social media to inspire awareness and education to the masses about the grave American history of injustices and cultural appropriation. Having gotten his start as Yale's first Black student body president, Greene has gone on to work with the White House and other organizations throughout his nascent career. By sharing knowledge about history, culture, and politics, the Gen Z historian hopes to offer a new, engaging perspective to create change.
What's up, everyone? My name is Khalil Greene, and I'm thrilled to be joining the 2023 Black History Now Color of Change Awards. Tonight, I am sharing updates about several states in our country that are doing their best to outlaw true American history in our classrooms. But this cannot continue. First up, I want to talk about Texas. The Lone Star State has been in news headlines quite a bit as one of the top states fighting against truth in classrooms. Since 2021, when HB 3979 passed, Governor Greg Abbott has not only banned teachers from conversations about widely debated issues such as racism and white privilege, but he also has outlawed any history lessons that might make a student feel blame or guilt for actions committed by other members of the same race or sex. Schools are also no longer allowed to award credit for student service learning with community groups. Finally, Texas now requires each school to send representatives to a civics training program and has put a parental bill of rights in place, which makes sure that parents have access to electronic curriculums provided. The goals of all of these new laws is to make sure Texas teachers are aligned with the state's game plan. Only teach diluted, inaccurate, misleading lies about American history. These restrictions on teaching affect all children of all ages, and they will have a devastating impact on future generations. Please visit www.colorofchange.org or scan the QR code to learn more about what you can do.
Thank you, Khalil. We're celebrating several change makers and community leaders who are fighting back against racist and sexist attacks on our education system. After all, hiding the truth is violence and it harms us all. We have a packed agenda for you tonight. If you're anything like me, you can't help but be inspired and fired up. So, here to present our first award of the night, the Public Servant for Fair Education, is Vice President of Campaigns, Policy, and Government Affairs at Color of Change, Sakira Cook.
Aisha Davis is a force to be reckoned with. When she was elected to the Texas State Board of Education in 2018, she won in a landslide victory after receiving over 300,000 votes. During her tenure, she has pushed to get Texas to pass the Crown Act, which protects all Texans, including students, from discrimination based on hairstyle and hair texture. While it has yet to pass, she remains steadfast in her efforts to make this a reality one day. In addition, Davis has also raised awareness around the preservation and protection of Black history for all students in Texas, ensuring that Black, Brown, and LGBTQ scientists and their accomplishments are included in the science curriculum. Finally, in 2020, Davis managed to leverage her political power to champion and spearhead the creation of an African American Studies course that has been implemented for all high school students in Texas. This is especially powerful since Texas continues to challenge American history and truth-telling in its classrooms. Please join me in congratulating Aisha Davis for winning the Public Servant for Fair Education Award.
Hello, my name is Aisha Davis, and I'm a member of the Texas State Board of Education. Thank you so much for this award. I'm sincerely honored. I really want to start by thanking Nia Street, who nominated me for this award. We've been able to fight for truth in history at the local and state level here in Texas. And it's been such an honor to make sure that students do get to learn about history that reflects who they are. And of course, I always want to thank my mother for always being there right beside me. This award in particular means so much to me because I've always strived to be a public servant. You know, as a classroom teacher and now serving at the state level, I always want to make sure our students come first, and that means listening to what our students need. And as we move forward, my charge to you is to stay involved with what's going on with the Texas legislature. We have session going on right now. We have the State Board of Education making decisions right now. So thank you again so much, and I'm sincerely looking forward to fighting with each of you. Thank you.
Bravo on an excellent job. Well done, Aisha Davis. How bold in your convictions you have to be to challenge the status quo and move the needle forward. I am honored to be sharing my evening in the presence of changemakers like yourself. Like Aisha Davis, Brittany Towers is also doing her part to ensure that people of color are included within the science discourse. Better known as the Black Food Scientist on social media, Towers is a food scientist and certified culinary scientist who's doing her part to build more awareness around inclusion in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. Through her popular Instagram and TikTok series, Science in 60 Seconds, Towers explains common questions everyday people have about food-related topics that they can use in their daily lives. Having worked for household brands including Pepsi, Gatorade, and Vital Proteins, she highlights the power of representation and the impact it has for change. Hey, Brittany, let's see what you have for us tonight.
Science and City Segs with me, Brittany, the Black food scientist. Little known facts about Black scientists, Food Edition. One of the most well-known Black scientists for food is George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver loved peanuts and came up with a lot of uses for them, but did you know peanut butter wasn't one of them? One of his most crucial contributions was helping spread knowledge to Southern farmers on crop rotation so that they could grow nitrogen-fixing plants to help restore their depleted soil. Did you know that the women portrayed in the movie Hidden Figures weren't the only Black women that helped with the Apollo 11 mission? Doris Davis Santini, Julie Stewart, and Sarah Thompson, employees of Stouffer's, helped to create food-safe and delicious meals to feed the astronauts upon arrival from their mission. This food was served to the astronauts during their quarantine to ensure that foodborne illness wasn't a reason that they got sick. And speaking of amazing Black women, have you heard of Victoria Edie Butler, great-great-granddaughter of Uncle Nearest? She's the first known Black female master blender for whiskey. And yes, the Uncle Nearest of Uncle Nearest whiskey. Uncle Nearest was thought to have created the Lincoln County process, which defines Tennessee whiskey. Uncle Nearest also taught Jasper Daniels, aka Jack Daniels, how to distill some deliciously smooth whiskey. You may not have heard of a lot of these facts because the accomplishments of Black people back then weren't really recorded. Now with the power of social media, we can take these stories and spread knowledge. And now you have another useful science fact in just 60 seconds.
Representation matters, and Brittany Towers, you are absolutely exceptional. What a powerful mission you're leading. I cannot wait to see what's next for you. Next up, here to present the Preserving Truth in Education Award is Heather C. McGee, chair of the board at Color of Change. So please welcome Heather C. McGee to the stage.
Thank you, Soledad. Terrence Spivey is a masterful artist of many mediums who has dedicated his career to highlighting and amplifying the rich history and legacy of Black America. Most recently, he was the director and professor in residence at Allegheny College, where he directed Pearl Cleage's Bourbon at the Border, the first play with a predominantly all-Black cast in the program's 91-year history. Spivey also served as the artistic director of the Karamu House, the oldest Black theater in America. He served as the founding artistic director for the Performing Arts Center Powerful Long Ladder, and has served as the director in residence at multiple universities and professional theaters. He recently wrote and directed An Ocean in My Bones, a play honoring the Clotilda Descendants Association of Mobile, Alabama, that opened in early 2022. The Clotilda is the last known slave ship to dock in America, circa 1860, more than 50 years after the United States banned the import of enslaved peoples. The play is the very first to tell the story. Spivey continues to garner the support of the Clotilda's descendants, who are welcoming Ocean in My Bones back for their 5th annual Spirit of Our Ancestors Festival in Africatown this February 2023. Please join me in congratulating Spivey for winning the Preserving Truth in Education Award.
First of all, I would like to thank Color of Change, one of the nation's largest organizations on social justice, for naming me recipient for the Preserving Truth in Education Award. Since leaving Karamu House in 2016, my artistic expansion has been works on subject matters as police brutality and Objectively Reasonable, Christopher Johnston's human trafficking play Live Bodies for Sale, and The Phoenix Society by Peter Lawson Jones, which tackles mental illness. My recent is the Clotilda Descendants Association's An Ocean in My Bones, coming to Africatown, Alabama. I am an artist, unapologetically. As the great Paul Robeson quoted, "We are the gatekeepers of truth." Once again, thank you, Color of Change, and to those who nominated me. And in honor of this work, we are asking everyone to sign the petition to be in ongoing support.
Terrence Spivey, thank you for all you've done to contribute to truth-telling within artistic storytelling. I cannot wait to see the full production of Ocean in My Bones. Congratulations on a phenomenal job. Well done. Black Americans have always set the blueprint when it comes to the arts. It's no secret that blues and folk and jazz and R&B and pop and rock and roll and even country have been blessed with our official stamp of approval. Like Spivey, our next performer is well versed in the art of storytelling, albeit slightly differently. Idris Goodwin is an award-winning storyteller, accomplished playwright, and breakbeat poet who celebrates community values by cultivating histories with care. A lifelong arts champion, he's penned more than 60 original plays that are produced across the country by a diverse mix of professional and academic venues. While currently serving as artistic director of Seattle Children's Theater, Goodwin is also gearing up to release his first picture book, Your House is Not Just a House. It'll be published by HarperCollins in 2024. Please welcome Idris Goodwin with an original song entitled Us.
Kick a little something about us. There's no U.S. without us. And every story getting told, who built the country and gave it a soul. Every story getting told, who worked every inch of the land they stole. Kick a little something about us. There's no U.S. without us. Now storytelling don't require no permission, no gate stakes, no cover charge or tuition. History is made on the daily, and we've been present with the essence on a mission. They ask why we need it straight to our face, cause they cut and paste, they like to erase. So we talk black history today and tomorrow. There's more to the story than pain and sorrow. Our fingerprints on many innovation beyond the plantation where there were no vacations. Engineering, persevering, pioneering, endearing, steady beat, pumping heart of the whole nation. Yeah. Kick a little something about us. There's no U.S. without us. And every story getting told, who built the country and gave it a soul. Every story getting told, who worked every inch of the land they stole. Kick a little something about us. There's no U.S. without us. There's no U.S. without us. Without us. Without us. There's no U.S. without us.
There is no U.S. history without Black history. Thank you for such a powerful song, Idris. You can't help but feel chills from an incredible display. Moving along now to our third award of the evening. It's named after Nikole Hannah-Jones, the Nikole Hannah-Jones Award for Advocacy and Perseverance in Education. She is a Pulitzer Prize-winning writer for the New York Times Magazine and creator of the 1619 Project, which aims to reframe America's history by placing the consequences of slavery and the contributions of Black Americans at the very center of the national narrative. Please welcome Nikole Hannah-Jones.
Thank you, Soledad. Patricia Harris, Trish to those who know her best, has made an incredible impact on the lives of all she encounters. As the chair of the Carolina Black Caucus at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, she has been charged with leading efforts to make UNC Chapel Hill a more equitable, inclusive, and respectful environment, ensuring marginalized communities thrive. In 2021, Trish played a major role in my ultimate success in gaining tenure at the University of North Carolina. Her advocacy and activism has helped ignite the Carolina community. At a time when Black history and anti-racism teaching is under attack, Trish champions cultural competency and anti-racist dialogue, fostering transparency and accountability at UNC. By standing firm in her beliefs, she uplifts us all. I am deeply humbled to have an award named in my honor, and I couldn't be prouder to present this award to such a worthy recipient tonight. Congratulations, Trish Harris, for winning the Nikole Hannah-Jones Award for Advocacy and Perseverance in Education.
Hi, I'm Trish Harris, chair of the Carolina Black Caucus at UNC Chapel Hill. First, I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you and my sincerest gratitude to my colleagues, the members of the Carolina Black Caucus, and to Professor Nikole Hannah-Jones for presenting me with this great honor. I would also like to thank the Color of Change staff and the Black History Now Selection Committee for recognizing my efforts by granting me with this year's Nikole Hannah-Jones Award for Advocacy and Perseverance in Education, as a tribute to doing what's right and getting into good trouble. I'm humbled by this recognition and to be honored in the name of a courageous leader who refuses to leave unchallenged the prevailing practices anchored in unjust tradition and untruths. Like Professor Hannah Jones, I have no interest in maintaining the status quo. I have no interest in respectability politics that urge me to do what is expected versus what I believe is morally right. Those are the values that has brought us far as a community, and those are the values that will always carry us into better days. Again, thank you for this honor, and happy Black History Month.
Congratulations, Patricia, on everything you're doing in North Carolina and UNC to champion our community and education. It is well earned. We couldn't do it without you. We're going to keep this night rolling right along. In the summer of 2022, Color of Change hosted children's carnivals in 5 cities across the United States. These events were a way to not only provide young people with a good time, but also to make learning about Black history fun and equip our community with the resources to fight back against anti-CRT legislation. Let's check out a recap of the Color of Change's children's carnivals.
There is an attempt taking place right now to erase Black history from curriculums throughout the entire country. There are some states that have taken active steps to remove Black history and ban textbooks from being used in public schools in those states.
This event is all about celebrating and uplifting Black history, and also about talking to our parents, our community members, and our family members about what's at stake in the fight for critical race theory.
If we forget how far we've came from, we'll stop appreciating everything that we're given, and I feel like we'll become complacent as a people. So I just believe that our history should continue to be taught to our children and our children's children.
We have to be more proactive in making sure that they know where they come from and that they're proud of our Black history.
You got to know what the world has been through in order to make progressive changes to move everybody towards the future.
We are about celebrating Black joy with intention. It is up to us to make sure that we are teaching our children.
To join us in the fight to keep Black history in the classroom, text SQUAD to 55156 or visit us at colorofchange.org.
Absolutely charming. These carnivals were so well planned and widely attended, and I'm looking forward to seeing what surprises will be revealed at future carnivals that are happening later this year. So now we have Khalil with another update on the stateside attacks to education in the classrooms.
Hello viewers, this is Khalil Green with another update about a state that is fighting against truth in classrooms. Florida has long established itself as a state that makes up its own rules, regardless of the negative impact on its citizens. The passing of their latest classroom ban is no exception. Last year, Governor Ron DeSantis passed the Stop Woke Act, short for Stop the Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act. The name is a corruption of the African American English term woke, which means to be aware of social injustice. The Stop Woke Act's goal is to stop educating the youth about corporate wokeness as well as Black history. The law limits teachings of concepts like white privilege, structural racism, and nepotism. But if students are banned from learning about these things, equality will continue to be an issue affecting future generations. In addition, all teachers in schools have to post their teaching materials online. And finally, the 1619 Project and True Black History has been flat out banned. This is not acceptable. Please visit www.colorofchange.org or scan the QR code to learn more about what you can do.
It is truly unbelievable the lengths some will go to when avoiding accountability and reality. As Khalil said, please visit colorofchange.org to learn more about what you can do to join the fight against education bans in our classrooms. And please welcome Vice President of Campaigns, Corporate Power, Programs, and Research at Color of Change, Jade Magnus Ogunaki, to present our 4th award of the evening, the Advocacy for Youth in Education Award.
He may be young, but he is mighty. Sydney Keys is the founder of Books and Bros, a book club aimed at young Black boys to inspire and develop a love of reading. By increasing literacy, cultivating entrepreneurship, and fostering self-love, Keys has devoted his life to creating space in the literacy and diversity space, and he's only 16. After learning that most boys stop reading between the ages of 8 and 11, Keys created his subscription-based book club to serve as an intervention to support literacy. The first subscription box book club of its kind, Keys has helped nearly 1,000 boys all over the world discover their love of reading. Later this year, Keys will be publishing his very first book, the eponymous Books and Bros, a compilation reviewing 44 inspiring books for Black teen boys. A literary activist, entrepreneur, and published author, we can't wait to get our hands on a copy. Please join me in congratulating Sydney Keys III for winning the Advocacy for Youth and Education Award.
I am honored to be here today. I have to send a special thank you to those who nominated me for this award. I also wouldn't be here if it weren't for the massive support from all of you who have supported my efforts with Books and Bros. Every single bro that has been served through this book club has kept me going. Literacy should be equitable for all, and I'll keep pushing this initiative as long as I can. And even more so, my dream is that there are more Black boys who stand with me to keep Books and Bros going forever. Thank you to my mom. You are the true force behind it all. And thank you to Color of Change for this honor.
Sydney, what an accomplished young man you are. I'm so proud of you and cannot wait to see Books and Bros in bookstores later this year. Congratulations on winning such a powerful award. Up next, we have Sharana Ashanti Christmas, a cultural change maker and creative director whose mediums are film and dance. Ms. Christmas is here to present a clip from her 2021 short film, Back to Where We Were, made in collaboration with a nonprofit she founded in 2004, Muse 360. Ms. Christmas is committed to providing young people with opportunities that maximize their ingenuity, self-awareness, and life skills to help them work toward sustaining a powerfully built future. By sharing Black stories through performance art, she reminds us that keeping Black history alive through various mediums helps preserve our legacy. So please welcome Sharana Ashanti Christmas.
Peace, everyone. I am Sharana Ashanti Christmas, a mother, artist, cultural worker, and founder of Muse 360. Back to Where We Were in the Presence of Our Ancestors is a short film I wrote and directed in 2021 that took place in the Gullah Islands of South Carolina. I created this piece to acknowledge the past and imagine our future as they exist together to help us inform the present. As African people living in the Americas, it is crucial for us to examine our history to engage and discover new ways to create. New Generation Scholars is one of the programs at Muse 360 that was founded in 2007 to provide opportunities for young people to pursue knowledge of self through study of the arts, diasporic history, and domestic and international travel. Because many of our youth are multimedia artists and performers, they were not only featured in the film, but they were also able to contribute to the overall production. Back to Where We Were was featured in the International Black Film Supremacy Festival, the Circle Film Festival, and won an award for Audience Favorite. Thank you, and remember, when we honor our ancestors, we honor ourselves.
The power's just can't in the plan. Like aquatic stars, our sight breathes as minnows in the deep blue.
What a breathtaking body of work, so much emotion and meaning conveyed with every movement. I look forward to viewing the full short film. Thank you, Miss Christmas, for sharing your brilliance with us this evening. Up next, we have Director of the Center for the Study of Race and Ethnicity in America, Tricia Rose, to present our 5th award of the evening for championing diversity, equity, and inclusion in education.
Silver Moore is an award-winning educator and entrepreneur who has created an incredible platform, Classroom Clapback, that seeks to clap back at a system of miseducation by developing relevant and rigorous curricula and providing culturally relevant professional development for educators. As someone who triumphantly attributes her success and hard work to her Black identity, Moore's voice offers an affirming, unapologetically Black presence in spaces most needed, the classroom. An abolitionist educator at Detroit Leadership Academy and winner of the Golden Apple Award for teaching, she believes her work is justice work and that to be an educator, you must also be an activist. By working hard to equip public school educators with curriculums to teach their majority Black student bodies, Moore ensures that they are empowered to help protect and nurture the next generation of learners. As a teacher on the front lines, Moore understands the impact she has and maintains a commitment to creating educational spaces within and beyond the classroom that cultivates tenacious joy, shapes stubborn hope, and promotes a sense of wonder for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. Please join me in congratulating Silver Moore for winning the award for championing diversity, equity, and inclusion in education.
What up, though? I am Silver. I am an educator and the founder of Classroom Clapback. And first and foremost, I want to thank Color of Change for this award. Thank you for honoring me in my work, because it is certainly an honor to do this work. Every day as I approach what I do in education, I do it grounded on the beliefs that first and foremost, Black child genius is alive and well, that Black children are inherently valuable, and the liberation of their minds, bodies, and spirits is a necessity, not an adjunct to their education. And so I invite educators, particularly educators of Black children, to hold on to these as truths as well. Always is important, but definitely right now when there is so much fight and attack against teaching the truth. Fight and attack against teaching that Black is beautiful and that Black is brilliant and that there is educational value to the study of Blackness. So hold on to these forever. Keep in mind that we come from an ancestry and a people that were so committed to their education that even if it meant making dirt out of classrooms, digging holes into pits, they were committed to learning to read and write even when it was considered illegal. So make sure your hope is stubborn, unmovable, and unshakable, and do this work and teach like Black Lives Matter, like Black children matter, because they do. So again, thank you to Color of Change. Thank you for all the educators that I stand with in this work. Let's keep doing it.
What a beautiful evening we are having so far. Color of Change really knows how to celebrate our people, and I am so grateful to be among such great company tonight. Next up, we have Khalil with another update from the States.
Good evening. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves while learning a ton. My name is Khalil Green, I'm the Gen Z historian, and I'm back with an update about another state behaving badly. This time, I got Georgia on my mind. So despite locking in Raphael Warnock for state senator, there is still a lot of work to be done. Earlier last year, Governor Brian Kemp passed several laws that limited the ability of teachers to teach American history and the truths within. Specifically, Governor Kemp banned divisive concepts, including that one race is inherently superior to another race and that the United States of America is fundamentally racist. But essentially, Governor Kemp is trying to say that there is no racial inequality anywhere in America, that everyone is treated equally and fairly, and if teachers dare acknowledge the truth of America's history, they will be guilty of breaking the law. We can't stand for this. Please visit www.colorofchange.org or scan the QR code to learn more about what you can do.
Thank you, Khalil. We cannot stand for this. Next up, we're going to play a game and test your Black history knowledge.
Hello, my name is Jerome Grant. I'm the chef and owner of Mahal Barbecue here in Washington, D.C. Let's play a little game of true or false and talk about African American foodways. The term soul food has been around since the 1800s. That's false. The term was first used in print in 1964 during the rise of the civil rights and black nationalism movements. During that time, many African Americans wanted to establish their cultural legacy. Terms like soul music made way for soul food to describe the food that their ancestors had been cooking for generations. Black travelers during segregation would carry a shoebox lunch due to not having the same rights as white travelers. That's true. During the Jim Crow era, Black Americans would face prejudice, danger, or refusal of services while traveling because of their skin color. Although a list of safe places for Black travelers was collected and published in a guide known as the Green Book, these places were limited in number and location. As a result, Black travelers often carried homemade shoebox lunches, which generally included fried chicken, boiled or deviled eggs, fruit and vegetables, and pound cake. These lunches featured food that was less likely to spoil or require utensils so travelers could remain safe on the road. Bea Smith was the first female celebrity chef. That's false. Lena Richard defied the odds stacked against her as a Black woman in the Jim Crow South to become one of America's first celebrity chefs and the first African American to host her own TV show, 14 years before Julia Child made her debut. Richard ran a catering company, an international frozen food company, a series of restaurants, and a cooking school to help members of the local Black community command higher wages in the culinary industry.
Now, that's one fun way to fight back against the rapid spread of misinformation and disinformation. There was some great history reviewed there. Now, please welcome Grayson Hollingsworth to present our 6th award of the evening, the Innovation in History Education Award.
Hello, and good evening. My name is Grayson Hollingsworth, and I am so excited to present this award to my parents, Dr. Javoris Hollingsworth and Dr. Arlene Gordon Hollingsworth. In 2020, they created the hit YouTube animated series, Gracie's Corner. It's become incredibly successful during the height of the pandemic. My parents were disappointed by the lack of diversity in the shows my siblings and I watched, and decided to do something about it. Inspired by me, they used our in-home studio to produce Gracie's Corner, where we focus on singing and dancing to help educate kids everywhere. We talk about Black history and culture, covering all sorts of topics, such as Juneteenth, MLK, exercise, and hair love. After going viral, Hollywood came calling, and last year we signed a deal with UTA and Underscore Management. We plan on expanding very soon by creating our own podcast, hosting live events, and publishing among other things. The future is bright. Please join me in congratulating my parents, Dr. and Dr. Hollingsworth, for winning the Innovation in History Education Award. I am so proud of them.
Wow, thank you so much, Grayson. It's such a great honor to accept the Innovation in History Education Award at the Color Change Black History Now Awards. As educators ourselves, education is important not only for our children, but for children around the world.
Yes, and we would like to thank God, our daughter Gracie, and the Color Change Nomination Committee for considering us for this amazing award. We feel so honored. We would like to thank our publicist Adrian, who is in the audience, and our management team, UTA and Underscore. Finally, but most importantly, we would like to thank all of you for celebrating us with an award that means so much to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracie's Corner is such a charming channel, and please, the Hollingsworth family has won this award. Congratulations to you all. Up next, we have Khalil with a state update. Take it away, Khalil.
Hello again. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Khalil Green, and I'm back with an update about yet another state that continues to challenge truth and reality in our classrooms, Michigan. In 2021, Michigan introduced legislation that would make it illegal to teach anything related to implicit bias, gender stereotyping, and true American history, including any references to the 1619 Project and how racism has impacted our country. This legislation is currently making its way through Michigan State Legislature, and if it passes, will have long-lasting impacts that prevent our youth from learning about and understanding the world we all live in today. The truth is that America has an established history of discrimination against marginalized communities, and that discrimination continues to impact all of us. We must continue to spread awareness so that we can challenge these unjust bills and prevent them from turning into laws. Please visit www.colorofchange.org or scan the QR code to learn more about what you can do.
Khalil, thank you for providing this vital, timely information about the bold, intentional ways our governments are working to outlaw American history. So viewers, please visit colorofchange.org to learn more about what you can do. We all must be part of the change. For the final award of the evening, we welcome Kimberly Crenshaw to present an award named in her honor, the Kimberly Crenshaw Award for Intersectionality in Education. Kimberly is an academic pioneer in racial justice and critical race studies who introduced intersectionality theory and intersectional feminism in the 1980s. She's gone on to dedicate her life's work to advocacy in this arena. Please join me in welcoming Kimberly Crenshaw.
Dr. Asia Lands is a trailblazing scholar whose body of anthropological work is thorough and deeply rooted. Currently a postdoctoral researcher at Harvard University, as part of the Inequality in America initiative, she has a PhD in anthropology and cultural heritage preservation from Syracuse University. Dr. Lance's scholarship traces the long history of violence against Black women in the United States, integrating Black feminist and critical race theory into bioarchaeological investigations. By merging skeletal data with archival resources and documenting her rare findings, she is contributing to the preservation of Black history. In addition, she also routinely reviews the ethics of museum collections and the objectification of human remains. Currently, Dr. Lands is investigating the remains of Black people held in Harvard's Peabody Museum with support from the Winter-Brin Foundation. Her research has been supported by the Smithsonian Institution and the Ford Foundation, where she is highly regarded and respected. I am so thrilled to congratulate Dr. Asia Lands with the final award of the night, named in my honor, the Kimberly Crenshaw Award for amplifying intersectional narratives in education.
I'm honored and humbled to be the recipient of this award. Thank you to Color of Change for this opportunity and for the great work your organization does to amplify Black voices. Before I go any further, I must also thank my mother who nominated me for this award, as I would not be here without her. Kimberly Crenshaw's intellectual contributions are central to what I do as a Black feminist and historical archaeologist. I use my work in the archaeology of the African diaspora to highlight Black history and to recover stories that have been intentionally obscured. I would not be able to effectively tell our ancestors' stories without the guidance provided by brilliant Black feminists like Dr. Crenshaw. I would also like to thank my mentors, Dr. Rachel Watkins, a fellow Black anthropologist, and Shirley Brown-Alleyne, a dedicated Brooklyn-based educator. I want to encourage you all to look into some of the work being done by such scholars and activists who are highlighting Black history and making space for our youth to learn. First off, please check out the Society for Black Archaeologists. That's right, Black people can be archaeologists too. Also, look into the Black Cemetery Network and contribute to helping preserve our sacred spaces. Last but certainly not least, if you can, please contribute to the wonderful educational programs being led by the Center for Brooklyn History. Thank you again for this honor and for the chance to share more about Black history.
That was absolutely wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Lands, for all of the trailblazing work you're doing. And congratulations on an award well earned. Books are powerful. They stretch our imaginations, expanding our ideas of what might be possible. They give us permission to dream and provide a little bit of insight into what we might be capable of. They inform us of what's been done before while gently nudging us forward, peeling back the curtains of secrets untold. And for some, books are scary. The realities and truths they shed light on, many are unwilling to acknowledge. These stories must be tucked away, they say, even banned. Thankfully, despite all of the pushback, there's always been a community of people fighting against book bans. Who remembers the Reading Rainbow on PBS? Hosted by LeVar Burton in the 1980s and 90s, the show always highlighted great books, banned or not, and helped foster a reading community that has lasted decades. Here to sing a beautiful rendition of the Reading Rainbow theme song is For Washington. Let's welcome For Washington.
Butterfly in the sky, I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look. It's in a book, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow, a reading rainbow.
I cannot believe that people are still banning books in 2023, but it serves as a reminder of the powerful work that awaits us. We must not quit. For Washington, that performance was absolutely beautiful, fantastic. Thank you for sharing your powerful gift with us tonight. And wow, what a spectacular evening. We must always remember that tonight's winners are great because of, and not in spite of, this incredible history that they're protecting and defending. By fostering change in their communities, they're ushering in a new generation of promise and fortitude and resiliency. One more time, a tremendous round of applause for all of this year's award winners. And thank you to our viewers and our audience for spending your evening with us and joining the second annual Black History Now Awards. Until justice is real.
Yeah.